Today I'm going to share a very important will to you, and I'm not calling a preacher. I'm going to teach today, so I want you to follow me and pay much attention to the Word of God. The title of my message today, I've entitled The Importance of Devotion and Meditation. The importance of devotion or meditation. How many of us know the importance of devotion? And how many of us have the time to meditate? Meditate simply means thinking critically towards a particular word or something. You pay attention. Sometimes people need, different religions have many ways to meditate, which means they pay focus or attention to a particular word or something, the greatness of the one they worship, and what they have said or taught, or what they have written, and they pay much attention, and they meditate, and they think critically, or assess that particular word. That's how people meditate. So we see, anytime we meditate, we are thinking about the greatness of God, how awesome He is, and what He has done in your life, and what He's able to do. So sometimes people have enough time to pay much attention and meditate how good, how great our God is. And also, devotion is a form of what? A prayer. And we see, we will be going through quotations and series of reference that indicate that many people who became successful in Bible had a time of what? Devotion and meditation. We are going to begin with our popular star in Bible, which is Jesus Christ. So we are going to turn our Bible to Luke 9. I'm going to read from 28 to 36, and you can follow me. He said, and it came to pass about 8 days after these sayings, he took Peter and John and James and went up into a mountain to pray. And as he prayed, thus spending time in devotion, the fashion of his countenance was altered, and his raiment was white and graceful. And behold, there talked with him 2 men, which were Moses and Elias, who appeared in glory and spake of his disease, which is death, which he should accomplish at Jerusalem. But Peter and they that were with him were heavy with sleep, and when they were awake, they saw his glory, and the 2 men that stood with him, which is Elias, that is Elijah, and Moses. And it came to pass, as they departed from him, Peter said unto Jesus, Master, it is so good for us to be here, and let us make 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. I think Peter should have put himself there, very selfish. Not knowing what to say, while he thus spake, there came a crowd and overshadowed them, and they feared as they entered into the cloud. And there came a voice out of the cloud saying, This is my beloved Son, hear him. And when the voice was past, Jesus was found alone, and they kept it close, and told no man in those days any of those things which they had scene, we see the importance of devotion and meditation. Jesus, being God and all-powerful, had a time set aside and take leave from the crowd. He took his disciples who were close to him, went on a mountain top and spent a time for what? Devotion and meditation. Jesus with all power. Why did he need devotion for? Why did he need meditation for? Why did he have to leave and spend time in devotion or in prayer? Why did he need to leave all his activities behind and go to the mountaintop and spend some time to communicate with the Creator? This tells me and you that if Jesus needed time for devotion, if Jesus needed time for meditation, if Jesus needs to leave everything behind and go and spend time with God and see the anointing and the presence of God, then myself and you, we need it more. I'm going to take you through this verse. When Jesus went to the mountain, spend that time in devotion and dedication with the Creator, which is God, what you receive, the strength and the glory that you receive from spending time with His God. I can tell you, we all need to put everything behind us and sometimes separate ourselves. And we need to go sacred place, quiet place, to spend time with God, to have a devotion with Him, to meditate His word, and absorb power to strengthen our weakening flesh. 28 said, and it came to pass about 8 days after this saying, he took Peter and John and James and went up into the mountain. I read again, to pray, which means to have a devotion. And as he prayed, spending time with God, the fashion of his countenance was altered. That tells you that when we spend time in the presence of God, there's a tremendous changes happening in our spiritual and physical countenance. We see Moses when he went to spend time on the mountain with the Lord. When he was ascending down, people could not even look at his face. Jesus beginning to shine and bright after spending a time with God. The Bible says his countenance beginning to what? To bright and shine and change. Which means we need it also. We need a shining countenance so that our enemy and trouble world cannot come closer to us. We need to bright in this darkness world. We need to bright wherever we are. In order for us to shine, we need to spend time in devotion, in the presence of God. That's how we shine. That's how heaven glory engulfs us. That's how we see the glory of God and imparted that glory on us. So when we come down to this world and begin to deal with our business, our faces look different. And shine in all aspects. We need time to spend with God. We need time to have a devotion with our Creator. We need time to communicate with Him, to absorb the strength of heaven, so that we can carry on this troubled world. Jesus did it. He is all powerful. And we need it. Verse 31 coming, he said, also, when we spend time with God, he said, who appeared in glory and spoke of his disease, which he should accomplish at Jerusalem. When we spend time with God in devotion, he reveals secret and mystery to us. Jeremiah 33:3 said, call me and I'll answer. I will reveal the mystery, the things that you don't know to you. When we spend time with God, he reveals things that are about to happen to us. So you don't need any prophet to tell you what is going to happen, what you're supposed to get, and why and what you haven't get it. When we spend time in the presence of God, God reveals the mystery, the secret, his plans, his purpose to us, as Jesus did. When he went on the mountain and spent time, God sent his righteous men, the prophets, to reveal the disease, which means the death that Jesus was about to go through, which is on the cross. They came and revealed to them this and that you have to go through. You are about to go to the cross. So when we spend time in the presence of God, you don't need any prophets. You don't need any prophetic word. You don't need anybody to write your name and sign a book before he tell you what is going to happen. God will speak to you. That's the benefit or a ticket of a devotion. We all need a devotion. We all need to spend time and meditate the goodness, the greatness of God. Jesus had to set everything aside and go to the mountain because there's a certain thing that he needed and he needed to know. He knows all things, but whilst he was in the flesh, there were certain things that were hidden and he needed to seek the strength and the face of God so that he may be manifest to him. We are flesh and blood, and there are certain things we cannot see. There are certain things we don't understand. There are certain things going in our lives, in our family. Only devotion and the presence of God and the mystery and the wisdom of God that can give us that interpretation. Why and what and the reason why those and that things happening and going to happen in our lives. We need devotion. We need to spend time with God. When we spend time with God, it's like a good father. When his children come under him, my father normally did that. He lectured us, and that's how we had a fun time. When we spend time with him, our father, he had a time and give us his divine will and purpose concerning our life. We need to spend time. Let me continue. 33 coming down, and said, and it came to pass, as they departed from him, Peter said unto Jesus, Master, it is good for us to be here, and let us make 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. Not knowing what he said, Peter was so excited, he became grateful. That's what happened. When we spend time in the presence of God, the mystery, the gift, the knowledge that he revealed and gave it to us, we go crazy. And Peter, like Peter, and sometimes we don't even know what to say. You can spend time in the presence of God and be sad. You can spend time in the presence of God and be bored. When we spend time in the presence of God, we always become excited like Peter, and we will not even know what to say. Overexcited and joy, because there's always goodies in the presence of God. When we spend time with Him, there's always full of joy and happiness.
Thank you, Jesus.
So Christians who have been so sad, so mourning all the time, it's an indication that you are not spending much time in the presence of God, of your Creator. Because there's a joy and happiness at His presence. And when we spend time with Him, we become like a Peter, jumping here, like a kid. He didn't even know what word to say because of what? Overhappiness. The glory of God overshadowed. 34 coming said, whilst he thus spake, there came a crowd and overshadowed them. And they feared as they entered into the crowd. Is it not amazing? And then came a voice out of the cloud saying, this is my beloved Son, hear him. You see, the glory of God manifests upon His children when they spend time with Him. As Jesus did. When He went to the mountain, Bible said the glory of God became like a crowd and engulfed them, overshadowed them. And we need the glory of God. And glory of God overshadows us only when we spend time at His presence. How many of us know the importance of devotion? And how many of us know the importance of what? Meditation. I'm going to take you through a little verses to know the importance of meditation also. Mark 1, 35, 37, he said, and in the morning, rising up a great while before day, he went, with Jesus, out and departed into the solitary place, and there prayed. And Simon and they that were with him followed after him. And when they have found him, they said unto him, all men seeking for thee. Jesus went to a solitary place to meditate every morning. He get up, he leave the disciples behind. He go to secret place and hide himself and what? Meditate every blessed day, every blessed morning. How many times do we go out or hide, leave everything behind in our own house? You can have your solitary place at the bathroom. I know somebody, I will not mention her name. Her bathroom is her solitary place. How my office stand up? That's my solitary place. Where is your solitary place? And how often do you spend time to meditate with your God? Jesus did. Every morning, he get up and leave everything behind and go to a solitary place because he knows the importance, the strength, the benefits that he gains when he go out and spend time to meditate and consult his God. There's always great benefits. We see a successful man like Isaac also. Genesis 24, 62 to 63 says, and Isaac came from the way of the well, lateral, for he dwelled in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the evening times. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camel were coming. That was the time they were bringing his wife. Isaac have a set time. Every evening, he have a secret place that is a field. And he always go to spend time to meditate. And now the praise when he was coming from, then he saw that Eliezer has gone and get him what? A wife. It's important of having sacred place, having time, spending with God, and having a meditation with Him. I've already taken you through the benefits of devotion and meditation, and we see that Jesus did it constantly whilst He was on this earth here. Every morning, according to the word of God, He leaves everybody behind Him. And Peter had to run and find out. That tells me that He didn't tell them where He was going, because they don't know where He was. But He did it every morning. And they go around and looking for Him. And when they found Him, they tell Him, Master, where are you hiding? All men are looking for you. And that also tells me that sometimes, no matter how busy schedule you are, no matter how people need you, no matter how your job is important, you have to leave them behind and run out and go and hide yourself somewhere to seek the face of your God. Isaac did it. Another man, great man of God, also did it. That's David. Psalm 5, 1 to 3 said, give ear to my words, O Lord. Consider my meditation. Hearken unto the voice of my cry, my King and my God. For unto thee will I pray. My voice shall thou hear in the morning. David has his time. O Lord, in the morning will I direct my prayer with my devotion unto thee, and will look up. David has a special time. You can have your time, either in the evening, because Isaac has his devotion in evening time. David has his own early in the morning, which is good. Jesus also has his time early in the morning. They are all good. But what is important is have a sacred time and spend time with your God and seek the presence of God. Talk to Him. Have meditation with Him. Think about His goodness critically and how great He is. Spend time at His presence. Hear His voice. Wait His presence and listen to Him every day. Amen. Importance of devotion and meditation. There's a strength and there's a wisdom. And always we need it in order for us to be successful, in order for us to refill ourselves. Because when we drink, we see we need infilling. And infilling, we don't get it at the gas station. We get it at the presence of God. Amen. How often do we spend time with our God? I will give you more examples, but I believe this is enough. Amen. There's numerous men and women of God who achieve a lot in the Bible by spending time at His presence. In the prophets, when you are going to consult them, they will tell you, wait, let me consult God first. And whatever He said to me, then I will come back and talk to you. They went and wait at the presence of God to hear from God. They wait sometimes throughout the whole night. Wait and have devotion, conversation with God. How many of us do that as a Christian? And how many of us here want to become successful Christians? We need a secret. And when we spend time with God, believe it or not, we don't need anybody to fortune tell us what is going to happen in our lives. God will speak unbeliever hit you so much whereby he will bypass you and reveal what is about to happen to you to someone else. Then you are not having a good relationship with your maker. If somebody is coming to give you a prophetic word, it's supposed to be a confirmation. Because you are already knowing. Like Elijah of old, when God was about to take his master, and when he was walking behind him foot to foot, and they went and passed the school of prophets, and the prophets came asked him, do you know that your master was about to take it tonight? He said, hold your peace. I know it. God has already let you know, because he was walking in accordance with God. I believe in prophecy myself, but if you have no clue of what somebody is telling you, there's something wrong somewhere. Either you upset or the person who is telling you. Spend time in the presence of their God. And you don't need anybody to tell you what's about to happen. You don't need anybody to give you strength, because all strength, all wisdom come from what? God. He said, if anybody lack of wisdom, you should come to William here. You should what? Go to God. He give it generously. You don't need any secular counselor who will charge you and give you a bogus word, counsel to destroy your life. Wait in the presence of God, and God will direct you. Shall we stand up?